She's a goof. Hey everybody, it's the Modern Native. I'm testing out my live stream. We've got a good little signal right here and it's raining, but just gonna try it out for a little bit and see what's going on. Say hi to everybody. I miss everybody, so I wanted to go live.
Yeah.
Your wife's happy.
I'm enthused.
I should have brought my selfie stick. But I think we have a good enough signal and it's consistent enough that I might actually not get cut out. I wore paints today.
You're doing sunny your face too.
Found some berries and I crushed them and I gave myself some war paint for the day. Just being weird. But we have been out exploring. We came up to this spot because it's a good signal. The boys have been very comfortable at camp. I gave them a treat and a snack, and they just are chilling out. They don't like doing much in the rain, so they're just chilling out under our hammocks, and they're lazy. But
shit's lazy as hell when it's raining.
But we're on the trail, and we're working our way south. We've only gained a small amount of mileage, unfortunately, but we're getting into the groove of it. Pretty soon we'll actually able to cover some mileage and cover some good distance. But we are just wanted to do an update. We haven't gone live in a while and haven't had the signal to be able to go live. So we wanted to hang out with you guys, see who's here, say hi. Let me know that you're hanging out in the comments, as we got 2 already. Thanks for being here. But I'm standing on a magic rock. I swear it's like iron ore in it or some shit, because on this rock, I get signal. If I were to step forward or step back, 1 bar. But right here, I have 3. So that's where I'm staying.
Snap an ankle.
Mm-hmm.
My ankle just snapped.
That's my biggest fear on this trail and this whole hiking experience and everything else. I am so worried one of these times I'm going to be walking in front of her, and I'm going to hear, ah! Great. Now I have to splint an ankle and carry her ass all the way out. Yeah, the magic service rocket. It legit is.
It really is.
If
I have better service back there, but he has like perfect signal right here.
But I've got to stand on this rock.
Need to rock.
If I step off of it, I lose signal. So, how's it going, Greg, the handyman?
I fell again.
We had an exciting adventure this morning. Remember the disgusting people that we've talked about, how trash this area? Yeah. They came back down and they were talking a whole bunch of shit. Their voices were echoing across the lake, threatening to come over here and fuck us up because we told them that there's no motor vehicles are prohibited and all that.
There's signs everywhere. It's not really, it's not rocket science. It's common sense. It's everywhere.
And you got to go around 2 stop barriers to be able to get by it. So it's just like, I said, you know, just letting them know that there's no vehicles that allowed back here, and he was like, "Oh, I didn't know." Dude, don't lie straight to my face. You had to go by 5 signs. You had to go around the stop barrier. You're either illiterate or blind, and you're driving, so I don't think you're blind. It's the only way you don't know that there's no vehicles allowed back here. And then they came down with chainsaws and they're cutting stuff up and everything else. We'll be dropping a report to DEC because they're locals. They live right off the end of the trail. So go beast. I love that people have gotten into that. I love that. It was on the North Country Trail post, put down in their phone. Also, we're doing this because we are really tight on funds. We're trying to raise some funds, so if anybody has any support that they'd like to offer, it's down on the bottom, either Cash App or PayPal. We definitely appreciate it. It'll go pretty far for us being able to, called Trash Humans. Leave no trace. Now a bag of bottles and cans and propane
There's a whole
bottles and shit like that that people buried. And I was digging it out and putting it in a bucket to be able to carry it out, but it was in an area that my dog could get to, that Monster could cut himself up on, and he likes to find
we're
stuff.
Still finding stuff.
Yeah, we're still going through and finding random bottles.
Just found a bottle this morning.
Yeah, I was setting up the tarps because the rain came in, so I took a step down and I was like, the fuck, are you kidding me? Another bottle sitting right there.
And that's what I mean. Like, we found another pipe, and I found other stuff because Monster digs it up. He'll smell that under the ground, and he'll just go digging. He doesn't care what it is. He'll find it.
So if we see or hear him starting to pay too much interest in one spot, we got to go over and be like, what are you getting at? Let me dig. Let me dig.
Yeah. I'm going to push him away and make sure he's not getting to it, just in case there's broken glass, which there has been more than a few times now.
But what's awesome is once I do that, once I go over to him and I'm like, what do you got? He backs up and is like, I was telling you it's there, Dad. And then I get it out and he goes, there, you got it. You got it. And then he leaves the spot alone. That was all he cared about.
That's literally all he cares, is that we know that there's something there that can harm him.
We appreciate it, Greg. Thank you very much. Like I said, even a couple of bucks, it helps. It adds up. I mean, if every single person on my YouTube sent me $1, we'd be set for the next 3 months.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's over 1,000 subscribers.
1,400. Yeah, 1,421 now.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
so I've got to make another hike down into town to get a few more supplies, a few more protein items for us. We've got a lot of starches, but that doesn't exactly do well for your system if all you're eating is starch.
Yeah, it's kind of not working.
Yeah, it messes with the wife's stomach especially. So we're trying to find a ride to sell some of our stuff whenever somebody actually is legit about coming through and wants to buy my liquor barrel cabinet. It's a half a wine barrel that's made into a liquor chest. I've been trying to sell that. The wife's been trying to sell her wedding dress, but I'm
never gonna wear it again, and it's almost $1,000 dress.
Yeah.
It needs to be sold for at least half of that, or anything for that matter.
Yeah, like at this point.
We just need something because our phones are off in a couple days. We're running out of items. I need personal woman items that are just extremely expensive right now.
Yeah.
I need Tylenol. I need.
She's been dealing with an infection in her face, and it's actually been making it really hard for her to function and do stuff. And I feel really bad. I was able to go and get a tube of Oragel, but she's been gone. Yeah, it's already gone. She's been in a lot of pain.
It's bad. I have a ear infection that turned into a mouth infection that went back into an ear infection, and now it's messing with the giant pocket, that
the glands.
Yeah, the glands, and then it's messing.
Yeah,
I have skull problems.
That swollen spot on the side of her skull. So whenever she gets sick or she gets an infection, it always flares that up, gives her migraines. It's almost debilitating.
It honestly, it really has been. The only thing I've been able to focus on is camp stuff, and that's even been challenging. I haven't been able to eat. I haven't been able to sleep more than what I have been able to do.
And I can't help it, but I feel like this whole thing is cursed. Like we're pushing through and we're gonna fucking fight and just get it done. But it seems like every step we take, something comes up, something is an issue, something failed. First, it was the solar panel. It didn't want to charge things. Now we figured out how to do it. It doesn't like our big chargers, but it'll charge our little ones. So we charge our little ones, we can dump that into the big chargers, and then we can recharge the small ones. We can charge our phones directly, but that's only in direct sunlight. We did happen to run into an awesome dude, like I said, a guy named Dave from Fort Myers, Florida. He's a fishing guide. I told him I'd give him a shout out just because he was awesome. He plugged in a power strip in the back of his cabin and said, come on down and charge up. So that was super cool of him. And he hooked us up with a couple of burgers, which was awesome. Gave us protein for the day. And it's just it's a struggle. And then she got a bear cub, an adolescent bear came running up at her and went right between the boys because I was moving camp. So the only thing that was left set up was the boys, and she was standing on the trail looking at the boys, getting stuff set up the hill for me.
I had my bag on and my staff in my hand.
And then she hears this crashing through the woods coming towards her.
And he was coming at me. I'm pretty sure it's because this is his first season without his mom. He was at that certain age where his mom would have left him this year. So I believe that he was smelling me, smelling the animals, smelling us.
And she had just started her cycle, so he was smelling that.
So there's that. That's what I meant by I need woman thing.
Yeah. So between the bear and then what was the other thing? There was a big failure that happened. Oh yeah, my shoes falling apart on the walk into town. I'm not even 2 miles out down the road, not even halfway to town yet, and all of a sudden my one side gets shorter, and I'm like, oh no. Great. Finished walking all the way out, walked all the way back, and then on the way back, another chunk fell off my shoe. So then it even got shorter. Then we get over here, and our signal is just totally shot. That's why we have to walk away from camp, come up here on top of the hill. And I'm sorry, baby. She's having a flare up of pain right now. It makes me feel terrible because I've tried to do what I can to help her with her pain. I've done pressure points. I've tried to massage her head to get the pocket to move. There's nothing I can do. I have my ghost pipe tincture, but that's almost out. I found more ghost pipe,
eating them like they're fucking Tic Tacs.
Yeah,
and it's not even helping anymore.
I found more ghost pipe, and I'm making a tincture, but I need alcohol to do that, and we don't have any alcohol with us. And I'm not exactly about to use the half-full wine bottle we found buried in the ground. But it's a struggle. We're going to figure it out, though. We're all about pushing through and persevering. We're not going to have that conversation with her today and asked her if she wanted to quit, if she wanted to figure something else out. And she doesn't. So we are going to continue to push through. We're going to push forwards on this trail to the North Country Trail. Then we'll be able to swing south and head on down to Ohio, run into Survival LT. He's going to give us a spot to land and help us get some work going so that way we can get a vehicle. And then I'm going to continue, and she's going to leapfrog me with the car. And so a lot, but we knew it wasn't going to be easy. Definitely didn't expect everything. Then, of course, we for the entire park and then decide to threaten bodily harm on us because I just pointed out the fact that it's prohibited here. So, but we had ourselves, and as soon as we heard the motors coming down, we heard the way they were talking, because your voices echo right across the lake here. We can hear you straight across the lake clear as day. So I knew exactly what they were doing and what they were saying. Well, a little bit of common sense. It was a female's voice, and she kept saying she didn't want to be involved in that. She didn't want to be involved in that. They were talking, and finally she nagged at them enough that they turned around and left. But And speak of the devil, survival. We had an exciting morning. Woke up first thing to just that if you next to a park, you own it. At least that's what they think, and that they can do what they want and totally trash the area and bring here and start cutting down trees and gets their own personal lumber yard. Like, come on, don't be a piece of shit. Being in nature, I don't want to sit there and listen to a motor, listen to you fucking scream and holler and talk shit and threaten us, and then go over and she's having a bad bout of pain today or right now. I feel terrible because there's nothing I can do. I've tried. I've tried doing. There's a pressure point here that I can do that'll help with the web of the thumb and the pointer finger. If you pinch right there, it releases endorphins, and it actually is a natural pain relieving pressure point, and that only works every now and then. I feel terrible because I sit here and I listen to her cry, but there's nothing I can do. But we're a few miles down the trail. We haven't made as much mileage here soon. We need to downsize some of our stuff. I got to looking at some of my clothes, and I really only need like 3 outfits because at a camp I can have one washed and drying while I'm wearing one, have one as a backup if something happens, and then keep alternating like that. So I'm going to cut all my stuff down to just 3 outfits. The wife's going to cut her stuff down, and most of the weight is actually our food and the dog food.
And the blankets.
And the blankets. Which, yeah, we can't exactly downsize the blankets. We have 4 wools, but the 2 are small that are really only good for a base layer. Then we have 3 fleeces, which are good for insulating, and one of our wools is actually for the dogs and their sleeping bag. We lay down the sleeping bag, and then we can put the wool down, and they can have a nice warm spot that keeps them off the ground right underneath the cover. So, I mean, we kind of got it broken down to not much more than our bare minimum, but we still got to cut it down more so we can move faster. I feel so terrible. I hate seeing her in pain like that. But I'm hoping to get something going here soon and be able to go down and get her some more pain meds so that way she can get some relief. Yeah. But I mean, does anybody have any questions about our hikes, about our trails, our travels, any of our tips or anything that I've been dropping? Did everybody see my water filter video? I know a couple of you did. A couple of you were here that commented, so I know you guys saw some of that. But I was wondering what people thought. My wife's still right there. She's just having a bout of pain, and she doesn't want to have that. She has a bad infection that is in her ear from a botched tube that they put, the tube that they put in your ear if you've got like migraines or ringing in your ear. It causes an infection, and it's actually causing her mouth to get infected. I've got some natural antibiotic remedies that we've been using, which is keeping it from spreading, but the pain is still there. And she's been eating Oragel.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
I don't have anything for pain.
You got like a quarter of a tube left.
Barely.
But
I've been able to sleep. I've been crying myself to sleep almost every night because I can't sleep.
And I feel terrible about it because I can't do anything. I've been trying. But
and that makes me feel bad because I know you're trying and I know there's nothing that you can do, so I feel bad for making you feel bad.
Well, it's also I have PTSD from my childhood, and one of the things that triggers a bad anxiety fit with me is actually crying and whimpering and begging. So when she gets to that point, I have to sit there and remember that she's in pain and I'm trying to help her. And we can't afford to go to the doctors, man. She
I don't have insurance.
Yeah, we don't have insurance.
And I lost my job. I don't have no way to a hospital or to a doctor.
Yeah.
I don't have family.
And it's considered a non-emergency, so they won't come pick her up. Not to mention that's a $1,500 bill.
Yeah, that I can't afford. I can afford the $3 bottle of Tylenol, but I can't right now because I don't have the money.
Well, I mean, Greg did send the $5, but it's a 5-mile hike.
Yeah, for just
so
Tylenol, that's not gonna.
I'm hoping that I can do a supply run at one point, so that way we can actually go and get supplies plus what she needs, and I can get it back in one run instead of running out for one item. Because it's 5 miles there, 5 miles back, and that's 10 miles each time I run out to town, on top of the mileage and the time and every step that I take around here. And my feet are already bleeding.
2-hour walk.
Yeah, it's a 5-minute drive. It's a 2-hour walk, and my feet are already bleeding. And I'm actually going to be putting up a blog post, or a Facebook post, or in my LinkedIn. I'm going to put it around. I haven't decided exactly how to flesh it out yet, but pretty much the opening line is going to be, have you ever walked until your feet bled? Well, I start most days with my feet bleeding before I start walking. So, natural antibiotics, natural pain relievers. I found some living ghost pipe that I was able to clip so that way it regrows, and she can chew on that raw, and it does help for a bit at a time. But she ends up building up a tolerance to each one of these things, and each thing only works a little bit at a time. There isn't even an urgent care within like 15 miles. He said maybe there's a health department around close by, and
No, I checked.
I didn't even see an urgent care for like 15 miles.
Not around here.
Closest one is Gloversville.
Yep, and I'd have to walk 30 miles.
No, it's 16 one way.
Exactly. I'd had to walk 16 miles to get there one way.
Yeah, New York doesn't have free clinics or anything like that, especially not in our area. So and she's stubborn anyway.
If I had the option and the doctors would actually do something and I could afford the medication that they give me, yeah, I'd go. I'd take it. I'd do whatever I can.
Went to the dentist before she left. Yeah. Like, she was dealing with it every now and then she got put on those antibiotics, and it was just worse. So we're not sure why that happened. Looks like it's subsiding now. It comes in waves. It's like when I get a bad tooth infection, it comes in waves. Everybody's worried about you. See, people care. Just stay calm.
Okay.
It's one thing I've been having to remind her is to stay calm, because when her blood pressure kicks up, it makes it thump harder. So we've been doing breathing exercises. I've been teaching her mind over matter mantras that can help subside the pain.
And they do sometimes until it gets more extreme.
Sorry, it keeps moving around and I have to keep switching hands. My arm's getting tired holding it out in front of me. I didn't bring my selfie stick. This was kind of a impromptu thing because I had enough signal. But we were originally bringing it up because we were just doing an update, talking about what was going on and sharing the asshole adventures this morning, because if something happens, I've notified a few people about what's going on, and if they don't hear from me a certain amount of time, they will send a report so somebody comes out and checks out to make sure those assholes didn't come by and decide to try to fuck us up. I just think it's how funny that a simple Just so. I'm at 31%. But I mean, we're actually able to go live for 25 minutes so far. Better.
Doing all right.
Keep it calm. So I mean, who all is here? Says there's 4 still. I think people thought I was an asshole because I was on live while you're crying, and half of them dipped out.
Nothing you can do. Nothing that you haven't already tried to do that doesn't actually work anymore. Nothing's helping. Taking Tylenol is the only thing that is helping, and I haven't had that for a little bit, so.
We know LT. We appreciate it. What's going on, Nightmare? Were you creeping the whole time? D&K, how's it going? We're just doing an update. We had some adventures. Some people came up on 4-wheelers, violating the rules and regulations on the park, and we're bringing chainsaws, cutting down trees and shit. And they threatened us because we told them that they can't be back here with that. So, and the wife is dealing with some infections. That's what's going on. We've been doing some remedies and stuff like that to help, but it's not helping that much. But how's it going, D&K and everybody else? My fingers cold. But this is definitely a beautiful area. I mean,
As long as I'm not crying in the background.
yeah. People understand that. Silver Serpent said, I'm sorry you hurt Mrs. Native. And we appreciate that. She does. Nightmare sent a heart and prayer hands. That's good, D&K. I hope everybody's doing good. And in the long run, I mean, counting the blessings, we are doing all right. We're managing to keep enough food on hand. I'm actually making a slingshot soon, so that way I can actually maybe get some rodents and stuff like that around here. And I say rodents because I call chipmunks and squirrels and rodents. They're all rodents to me. That's why I call them rodents. But I'm going to do so sparingly because technically I shouldn't. But I mean, supplement protein. And I think the boys would go absolutely nuts if I was like, here, have a cooked squirrel.
Well, I know one of them that would.
If it's cooked, they'll all eat it.
Oh.
They'll both eat it. Creature, I could hand it to him raw, and he could mow down like crazy. Monster would look at it and be like, "Daddy, cook it."
Uh-huh.
And we've proven that. Monster, we've had raw venison, and I've tried to feed it to both of them. Creature loves it. Monster looks at me and is like, "Dad, why isn't it cooked? You gonna cook that shit or what?"
Mm-hmm.
And I cook it up, and then he's like, "Okay, good. Now I can eat it."
Almost instantly.
Yep.
It doesn't even have to be cooked all the way. It just has to be cooked a little.
Yeah, he needs the cooked flavor on the outside. Because apparently slick meat in his mouth just doesn't feel good. But, 'cause, 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 But yeah, we wanted to do an update. We wanted to come on here and share everything that's been going on, see if anybody had any questions about the going on, dealing with, and stuff like that. And we're also, like usual, trying to do racing so that we've grown across the bottom. We have, of course, I am trying to add, if we can get up to 50, keep. Silver Serpent said, I want a field trip to Kentucky, Pine Mountain. That aspen comes from the asper tree. Aspirin comes from the asper tree that you can chew the leaves for pain relief. The natives used it a lot. I don't know if we have any asper trees around here.
Yeah, I haven't found any. I've actually been looking. I have a few other, like the hobble plants and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I
that
totally
help my
forgot about
head.
it. We found hobblebush, which actually I crushed down into a poultice, and I can put it right behind her ear, and I put a Band-Aid across it to hold it there, and it's actually worked pretty well to help alleviate some of her pain. The natives used to use it, and they would crush up the roots. They would crush up the leaves. They would use it as a poultice. It was good for migraines, heart and lung issues, a bunch of different things. Then there's also the ghost pipe, which we found. There's more of it around here, and that she can chew on that, and that works as long as I pop the seed pod out of that, because that just totally made her grow up.
No seed pod.
Yeah.
Everything else was fine, but that seed pod was nothing.
So
and didn't go over well.
Probably only going to be able to be live for a little bit longer. But there's quite a few things that we can do in this bed. But it does seem like it's moving out of her system, so it's just a process. I've been taking other things, make sure, because it is great.
Sometimes I can do it when it gets lower down, more of it. I can't do too much. I can do like the first gargle and then the first sip through. That's pretty much about it. I tried to do it again and came right back up.
And I did mention it to someone else. We will be dropping our location soon, but we just have to make sure that we're assertives of ours, because we don't want them to show up here. Pretty much plain simple.
Pretty much they show up, they're gonna go missing.
Well, you can't really say it like that,
Well,
but they're going to start something, and
we're gonna start some shit, and I'm gonna have to defend myself.
A couple of her family members have already threatened harm distance across New York, but then we'll be dropping our location, sharing the actual trails that we're on. That's why I said for right now, I just call it that we're near Caroga Lake, because there's like 400 trails around here, and they're too lazy to actually try to find us. So that works. But it's for safety concerns is why we can't drop our location yet. But I'm actually going to be posting up on some of the camping in New York places and other stuff, the North Country trail sites and communities. I'm going to be putting up that I'm going to be offering some hands-on training. If people want it, they can come up and they can learn survival skills. They can learn how to start a fire.
Oh yeah.
So.
And also, instructor. I have always wanted to be, and being out in the woods and everything else. This is the perfect acoustic environment. It's so perfect. I love singing out here. This is my world.
We'll catch it on some videos where I go on one side of the lake and she's on the other, and I'll get her to sing some of her good songs. Thanks, DNK. We're always like, even when I heard them that they were threatening us and that they were going to try to come over and hurt us.
I got them on recording. I didn't get what they were saying, but I got their four-wheelers on recording. So if they do try anything, I have those recordings, and I can send them out to certain people who will instantly give them to DEC, and DEC will be out here within
less than an hour.
Yeah. They'll be out here quick.
And
they don't play with with four-wheelers.
LT, we're still in New York. Like I said, we're still near Caroga Lake.
We haven't been able to get too far. We still have a little bit too much stuff. We don't have enough supplies that we need that are actual important supplies.
And we're still waiting for a few things to come through the mail that we need to stay close enough that we can actually get back to it to get it. Her aunt can only go so far, so we needed to stay here for just a little bit longer to get the last couple of things we have in the mail. It's pretty much our PayPal cards. Hers came in, still waiting on mine. As soon as we get that, we can go, because I get stuff sent to the PayPal. I can't spend it unless it's on the card.
And
so
my PayPal won't even fix itself until I get my card for some stupid reason. But it's PayPal. So.
And Silver Serpent, with open sores and bleeding,
No.
I'm not putting salt water on my feet.
Yep.
I sprayed peroxide on it, and it stings like a sumbitch.
Yeah, it hurt like hell.
And I have a high pain tolerance. I've broken bones and been fine. Well, not major bones. My hand, a rib, things like
recently, your rib.
Oh yeah, that was something else I haven't shared yet. I was going to do a safety video. Farther down that way, heading down the hill. Farther down this way, heading down the hill, there's a tree that goes right across the path, and it's like waist height. Now, I'd gone over that thing like 8 times, and on the 8th time, I do parkour. I practice parkour, and
it's a good practice, especially out here. It's safer out here than it is,
on concrete.
Yeah, because at least here you'll get some ground, not just rock.
So on the way down the hill, I didn't realize that there was a little bit of lichen that was actually growing on the end of the tree, and I had been putting a hand down, and I kick my feet up and over, and I jump over the tree. We're still in New York, Swamp Rat. We're working our way through, but like I said, we can't get too far away from Caroga Lake right now because we're still waiting for some stuff in the mail. But as I was heading down, I would put my hand down on the log, I'd kick my feet up and over, and then I'd spin out of it and keep going down the trail when I was making my trips back and forth to bring up supplies or scout ahead. Well, one of the times I put my hand down, jumped over, and my hand just whoop, right off the log, and I fell back and caught myself on the tree across my ribs, and it was almost instant. I felt it the second I impacted. It got really hard to breathe. Hiking up the rest of the gear after that was extremely difficult, and I've got a cracked rib right now. It's very tender, very bruised, but it's one of the ones I crack a lot. Yeah, I do have a tendency of cracking ribs.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So.
And then Creature. Oh, I didn't get a video yet. Monster's actually been sleeping in the hammock with me. It's actually super cute. Bit of a heavy ass, but he throws that ass everywhere he goes, so
He's the big booty baby is what we call him.
Yeah.
And whenever we say that, he wiggles.
He wiggles super fast.
He's like, who's the big booty baby? Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And he does that grinny smile that he does. But we're going to be covering some mileage here soon, Swamp Rat. It's just we're waiting for my PayPal card to come in. We can't go too far because we need to go and get our mail.
Also trying to sell my wedding dress, his barrel.
My liquor cabinet, pretty much.
Yeah. I've had someone who said they are interested in both, and
they keep dicking us around.
They keep messing with me. They keep trying to scam me. It's that whole Zelle thing. I swear to God.
But so I'm going to be doing a safety video about make sure you are careful where you place your hands when you're trying to hop over a tree or a log, because one slip out here and you're fucked. So
cue existent me. I fractured my big toe.
Oh yeah. The last trip up, it was dark,
and I was super hot and overheated, and my
glasses
were fogging because I was putting up so much heat. And if the air is cold and you wear glasses and you're putting up so much heat, then your glasses are gonna fog, no matter what you do.
no matter what you do, they'll fall.
Exactly, swamp rat. First one with cash gets it. But
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I was shouting out obstacles for her and letting her know what was coming up, and I don't even know why. We got really close to the camp spot that we were going
and
to,
he was just focused on other stuff. He was straightforward focused, looking up dogs and stuff.
We passed over a dry creek bed, and it's just rocks there, and it's kind of uneven.
And I didn't see the one that was right in front of me. I pretty much kicked it, slammed my foot into it, and went down. And my ankle popped, my toe fractured.
You could see that she had pushed her toenail back,
and it
chipped a chunk off of it, and she had the pins and needles feeling when I just barely touched the tip of her toe on just the skin. Like I didn't even press, I just touched it. And I was like, "Oh yeah, you pretty sure you fractured your big toe."
And it was bad. It was so bad.
So we're both a little fucked up. We're both a little injured. Broken rib, cracked toe.
Infection
Infection.
that makes it to where I can't eat, sleep, or function. So.
And I woke up this morning with an infection popping on my gums.
Yeah.
That was
it's
that was
kind
a
of
great
just been
day.
One of those things. It's just been one thing after another. We're obviously still doing this. I don't want to stop. I don't want to quit. I want to do this. This is something that I want to do, and I am going to do. Through the pain, through the bullshit, through everything, this shit's getting done.
Mm-hmm.
Bam.
So, because I gave her the out this morning. I sat down and I was just like, "Do you want to stop and try to figure something else out?" She said no. She wants to do this. We want to hike to Georgia. Well, to hike to Ohio and then Georgia. I am determined to go to the world's largest pizza party and go and meet Eric. He's a great dude. I like his style. I like his challenges.
I just want a piece of that pizza.
Yeah. I really
just want some pizza.
I want to say I was at the world's biggest pizza party, like, and got a piece of the world's largest pizza. Yeah, fuck yeah. So, and also, I've been thinking about two different things, just like something gimmicky. No, Swamp Rat. It's the North Country Trail, dipping south to Ohio, and then I've got to find trails that connect on the way down from Ohio to Georgia. But once I get there, I will be doing the Appalachian Trail in February. I'll be turning around, going up the Appalachian Trail into Maine. I totally fucking forgot. And then I'm going to turn around and come back down to Vermont and then go on the North Country Trail all the way to North Dakota. So, go ahead. Yeah. I mean, when you can, you go ahead.
I got some stuff up with it. I got some stuff
down. Okay.
I'm going to check it right now.
So,
turn off my data.
Everybody say bye to the wife because she's going to be going back to camp. She's got to,
Yeah. And I'm still having that pain. It's just it comes and goes.
We have a wagon. It's one of those off-road wagon, but it's the front wheels rotate very easily. So when it hits soft dirt or it hits a rock, it's like, nope. God damn it. Stay in focus. It just turns sideways and stops you like a goddamn brake.
I literally have to go up, kick the wheel, and keep moving.
And I gotta
do it more than
I've got to keep lifting it up so it straightens out and it keeps going. So then I'm pretty much dragging it on its just back two wheels. Trying to go uphill, up rocks with that is definitely a whole lot of fun. But
all right.
Yeah, you can go back to it.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't be too long.
No, I won't. Just a few more minutes. Yeah. I'm on 24%. Yeah, I'm on 24%, so. Yes, a hand cart with 26-inch bike tires would definitely work better.
We're gonna ride that thing.
Yeah, then I can just hook up the dogs to that and they'll just wheel everything. Mush. Hey, they're huskies. They like it. Yeah, monster creature too. So, we're trying to figure things out to make things a little easier. We're going to downsize a lot. We're downsizing a lot of the stuff that we have. And oops, I stepped off my rock. I have a magic signal rock that actually gives me service. But I appreciate all you guys. To my patrons, I know I haven't updated a lot on there. It's actually kind of difficult to upload on Patreon. For some reason, it takes more data. But I have been putting some updates, and I will continue to do so. So, I definitely appreciate everybody. Alrighty, Swamp Rat. Maybe you can meet us on your trip up at some point. But yeah, we've been trying to downsize, and we're going to be covering distance as soon as we're able to get away from the area. Like I said, we have more supplies that we have to go and get, like have to get more proteins, have to get more food. We're trying to raise some money to be able to keep our phones on. Unfortunately, we've got like 6 days left on our phones, and we're stay on, so we're trying to raise some funds for that. Anybody who joins my Patreon and everything, I definitely appreciate all of you, and you all will be included in the 50 patron giveaway. I still have those. They're in storage at her aunt's, and whenever I have the funds or the ability, I am going to be sending her the money and the info so that way she can send out walking sticks that I have made for everybody. For the people who have walking sticks already accounted for that I have to send out, I will be sending them out when I have the funds to do so. It's just a process, but she will send them out for me. She's already said that's fine. I've already explained to her how to wrap them up, how to send them, and everything else. Jay Fox Hunter and his wife already got their walking stick. I was able to send that because they sent me the money for shipping. And it's just keep them in your prayers, your thoughts, whatever you do. Jay Fox Hunter and his wife Maria, just keep them close to heart. They need it. That's all I'm going to say on that. It's their personal information, but I did want to say that because it was just some very sad and upsetting news, and I cried. I didn't think I'd cry about somebody that I haven't even met, but either which way, just keep them in mind. It's a great community that we have building here. I love all you guys. Everybody is awesome. Says we have 10 here hanging out. Give me a HEYA. It's almost an hour in, just doing a roll call, see who's still here. Survival. I know you're here. I'm always safe. Always try to be safe. And I'm paranoid, so that helps. So I had a feeling those people were shady people and that they were going to do some stupid stuff because we offended them by blowing up their spot, saying that they can't be back here with their motor vehicles and stuff. Appreciate that, Dabaka. Hope I'm saying your name right, how you have it. But we appreciate it. Anything anybody does, like it doesn't matter if you've got $1, $4, or $5. Anything anybody has helps, and I appreciate it. And we do have we have notes written down of everything anybody sends us. It will all be paid forward and paid back whenever I can get us to the point where we're stable and able to fund ourselves. It's just at the point that we're doing what we can. Exactly, Swamp Rat. Just because they're paranoid doesn't mean they're not after you. Thank you, Victoria. Pretty sure that's Victoria. And already, Dabaka, that's awesome. It's like Chewbacca, but Debaka. Definitely appreciate everybody. Everybody is awesome. I appreciate you all. Like I said, you can send donations to the Cash App scrolling through the bottom or the PayPal there. Absolutely, Dabaka. I appreciate it. And even though people say, don't worry about paying it back, I am one of those people that I really hate asking for handouts. I hate asking for help. But in my life, I have found myself having to do that more often than I ever wished that I had to. But that's why I try to offer help to people when I can. I may not be able to do so monetarily most of the time, but I've always been the person that if I saw an older person mowing their lawn, I pulled up and I was like, hey, you need someone to mow your lawn for you? Shoveling snow in the winter, whenever I've seen an older person struggling or a lady struggling with something heavy, and I'm that type of person that I offer that help because it's what I have to offer. So I definitely appreciate everything. Exactly, Swamp Rat. There's been some, I don't even know how to put it, but I've gotten some friction over posting my links and saying, putting up my donations and stuff like that. They're like, oh, you want people to pay you for walking. You want people to pay you for hiking. You're just always begging people for money. I'm not begging. I'm not sitting here like, please help us out. We don't have food. We don't have antibiotics. We don't have painkillers for the wife. Please send us money. I'm not doing that. That's begging. I'm telling you guys the situation. I'm sharing the information I have. I'm offering the information, the knowledge, and the experience I have to offer to not sure who that is, but thank you to the donation I just received through PayPal. Thank you very much, whoever that was. I definitely appreciate it. And yeah, Nightmare, F them people. And I've had people saying that get a job. For one, I'm building a business. I'm building a brand. And no, I'm not monetized yet. I'm still very short. Awesome, Nightmare. I just saw the notification come through, so thank you very much for that. I just didn't want to drop your government name that's actually there. I don't like to dox people, more or less. I like to be referred to as the modern native, modern, whatever you guys like to call me. Some people know my name, but my name's so common, I don't really care. I don't really even like using my name. She doesn't call me by my name, and most people don't. For most people, I'm bro or bud. So that's why I like going by the modern native. So thank you again for that. But Swamp Rat, no, I'm not monetized. One second. Sorry, everybody. The bear cub walked through. The adolescent bear just walked through again. So she was letting me know what was going on. Our boys barked at him, so that way he went away. It's one of my biggest concerns whenever we walk away from camp, and that's why we always have the walkies. We leave a walkie at camp so we can hear what's going on. But yeah, Swamp Rat, I'm going back up. Swamp Rat, like I said, my watch hours started falling off because it's been over a year since I started getting some good views. So I'm having 100 or 200 hours dropping off because it's over 365 days. So I'm under 2,000 hours. So don't let the blowback from these people get you. You are educating us, inspiring us. Even the blacksmith I learned from get blowback for just having a super chat, having a merch store. Take care, natives. Thanks for the live stream. Cynthia Prince, how's it going? Digger X, how's it going? Yeah, we're to the people joining in, the new people popping up. We were just doing a little bit of an update, and this is going to be ending soon. So if you want to go back and check that out, let me know. Jesus. But yeah, the adolescent bear just pulled up to camp, and she spooked him away with the dog. So that's what she was calling me on the walkie for. That's one thing too. When you're out here, if you are ever separated from each other, or possibly might be, this has actually saved us more than once. The first time we went camping 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when we went camping together, we were separated because I was bringing stuff up to the campsite, and her stepdad was coming down to see me, but they turned off the trail on the wrong spot and thought it was a trail. It was a game trail, and they ended up being 200 yards deep into the woods, and this was the only reason I found them. I'm not carrying bear spray. We bring walking sticks with us if we're walking around. Otherwise, she does have a can of foam pepper spray, primarily for people, but if need be, we have that. Noisemakers, I can make a spear. We didn't have the funds to get a bear spray, so we don't have that. Um, none of our stuff are open containers, so we don't have to worry about bear bags because it's all in sealed cans or sealed plastic packages. So far we've been fine with that. If it's open, we use it, or we get today is just marked for it. My face is berries, and I crushed it up and made some war paint, and I painted myself. I mean, sorry, if you're going to threaten bodily harm on me, I'm going to make sure that you get freaked out when you come and try to mess with me. So I grabbed the berries and I gave myself some war paint, so that way if they wanted to start something, they were going to know who they were dealing with. Swamp rat, that'd be awesome. There's a few things that we actually need for the boys, especially, that I've been wanting to set up an Amazon wish list. That would be awesome if you wanted to get a hold of me. Did I send you my number? Do you have my number? And it works fine. But yeah, like I was saying, we're trying to reach out for we gave everybody an update. We're trying to reach out for some support, see if anybody has any donations they'd like to offer. We've gotten a donation today, and like I said, I definitely appreciate it. Thank you again. See, that's awesome, Digger X. That's definitely a way to go. Make sure you got those handhelds or shortwaves or whatever. Yeah, and they have drop boxes all across the place now, so it'd be easier for me to get things. So, but one last time, like I said, if anybody has any donations that they'd like to offer, I would definitely appreciate it. The Cash App and PayPal are there, or in the descriptions, and also in my About page. I do have my merch stores, but if you want to represent the native, that's definitely awesome. If not, I get it. Merch is expensive, and it's got a threshold for me to be able to actually receive a payout anyway. So sorry about that. I was checking my notifications again. But I definitely appreciate everybody. It says we got 12 here. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. I do have this to put up. And sorry again, I have not updated this. One more to add to this is Farmer Jack and Cynthia. I keep forgetting to update this. But a thank you to my patrons. I appreciate you guys. Can't do this without you, and I can't do this without everybody that has been helping us. DX189, it's all radio in my station. Oh, awesome. When I have signal and battery, I'll definitely go and check that out. But Stella, interested in what you're selling? What, my merch? Because my merch stores are in my About page. Alrighty, Cynthia, I definitely appreciate that. I go through a lot of the updates at the beginning. Donnie Ware, hey, how's it going? It's been an adventurous it's been an adventurous day. Started out being woken up by four-wheelers threatening us. Come on, signal. Give me my magic rock signal. There we go. We started out the day with... Oh, okay. I mean, are you in New York? And thanks, Swamp Rat. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. That's actually at our place that we just left down near Sprakers, New York. But I definitely appreciate everybody. Like I said, we started out the day with a really rough start. Had four-wheelers come down, chainsaws that were cutting up trees on state land. I tried to tell them that they couldn't be down here, and they took offense to that and threatened us with physical harm. So we were ready to protect ourselves. And then the wife just went back down to camp, and she just ran into the adolescent bear that's been liking to pay attention to us. So it's been an adventurous day. And rain. Alrighty, Stella. You can find my Facebook page, my Facebook group, and I'm the only moderator on there. So if you find me there, you can send me a message either directly through my Facebook page or through my Facebook group. You can send me a message, and we'll talk about it and work out the details. Definitely would appreciate that, because we're trying to raise $100 right now to be able to pay for our phones. They're up in like 6 days. So if I don't have my phone, I can't upload. I can't contact people to let them know I'm alive on this trail and this hike. If you seem new to the channel, we are hiking from New York to Georgia with a stop in Ohio. And then I'm turning around and hiking the Appalachian Trail and the North Country Trail together. So it's a lot of epic hikes coming through. I'm going to be walking and hiking almost the entire time. And I share my tips and tricks as I go. And I do YouTube advice, survival, outdoors, bushcrafting, hiking. Because I don't know what that is. Or think about athlete's foot already bleeding, because like wearing cheese graters for shoes. So, thanks, Nightmare. You never know the situation people might have. That might be a certain someone who has been trying to make contact. And I'm just going to say this right off the bat. Stephanie, if that is you, I don't want you to make contact anymore. You need making contact, or else I'm filing us to continue harassing us. But if Stella is legit and you are actually a real... Okay, see, that makes sense. Somebody told you about the stuff, say that, because we've been getting harassed by people. So it's a constant issue. Constant can make a donation to help us out, so that way we can get supplies, get our phones to stay on, and be able to continue down the trail and make some faster progress. anything is appreciated. You can go through our Cash App or our PayPal, but I'm going to have to end it here soon. I will have to do a little checking to make sure before I release any information, but that's just for our own protection. I'm sure people understand. All the way, and that we are set up for the rain that's coming in heavier. I'm on 16%. So I definitely appreciate everybody. Thank you for hanging out. I'm happy this live actually worked. Oh yeah, I got a new feather in my hat. So I'm making my own modern native headdress at the same time as we're going. When I find a feather, I add it to my cap. Hey, Pat, you finally caught me, and you always catch it right at the last minute. It's always when I'm closing up and saying bye that you're like, hey, I'm here. Need to turn on all notifications, man. And Nightmare, thank you again for your donation. I definitely appreciate that. And for those that don't know, anybody who joins my Patreon, it is a once a month subscription. It's a once a month paid subscription. You get background stuff. Sorry. You get behind the scenes, exclusive content, background stuff. I can message you directly. You can message me directly. You can get my phone number, things like that. It's all about building a community. So for those that want to have that more direct contact or do video requests or whatever else, you want to see something specific of us or something that we haven't put up, you can join my Patreon and I do that. And also, if you have a channel or a business or something, if you join my Patreon, I do shout outs and I put your links up there so people can check you out and they know that you are an awesome supporter. So a thank you, Pat, Nightmare, Stella, LT, Swamp Rat, of course, Silver Serpent, Donnie, Cynthia, Digger X, I think I said Cynthia, Debaka, thank you again, and there's a few more. Okay, Stella. So you can find me, my Facebook page, my Facebook group, they're both The Modern Native, and you can find me there. It's very easy to find. I'm the only one that's got it. So hope to hear from you soon, and I definitely appreciate it. Thank you, Digger X. And like I said, anything anybody has to offer, $1, it helps. It all adds together. It can be the difference between me being able to get something and not able to get it. And like I said, I'm not begging, I'm not being like, pay me. It's the only way I can do this and continue doing it is through the support you guys offer, and I appreciate every bit. I have some awesome patrons. And like I said, I have 2 more to add to this. It's Farmer Jack and Cynthia. They're both awesome people that joined. Cynthia's been around from the beginning, but 1 month it gave me the notification that she wasn't a part of it anymore, so I took it off of this. And then she joined right back up, and I didn't get the notification before I had this up there, and I haven't been able to update it, and I keep forgetting. But I definitely appreciate everybody. Thank you for sticking around for the update. Go back into the beginning, and you can hear all about the trials, and tribulations that we've had to go through, and the struggle. But I hope everybody enjoyed my recent videos. I'm continuing to try to upload on a daily basis so that way I can continue to update you guys, offer my tips, my tricks, give you guys something useful, entertaining, or soothing. Just bringing you guys back to nature, sharing my experience while I'm out here. And as I always say, remember to get out there, be a native, and go beast.